In previous lecture, we have discussed about how can we do build by using the GitHub webhook, and also we have discussed about DSL jobs. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about how can we create pipeline scripts and what is pipeline scripts and when do we need it. Okay, once this is completed, then if time permits, we are going to discuss about integrating Artifactory with Jenkins. First, let's start with the pipeline scripts. First of all, we should understand what is pipeline scripts. Okay, so all right. If you see here, Jenkins pipeline. Okay, first we'll understand what is Jenkins pipeline and what does it do. So far, we are creating any jobs. If we want to create any jobs, we are going to GUI over here, and we are creating our jobs manually. We are creating our jobs manually like new item, and we'll start specifying all the parameters. Okay, either it is a freestyle or Maven project, we are choosing that one, and we'll continue with that particular job. Okay, but assume that in case you would like to recreate that one in another server, then it is difficult, and there is no proper tracking as well. Proper tracking, nothing but who created what jobs, and also what is the initial job, how the job initially working, and after some time what changes have you done. All this would be not properly tracked, and also it is quite a little bit difficult to manage it. Okay, it is easy to create, but managing is difficult if you are creating manually your jobs. Okay, due to some reasons your Jenkins server is not able to up. Again, you need to create a new server, and you don't know what and all jobs are running in your system, and to configure it takes a hell lot of time. So to reduce the time which is unnecessary causing for the issues, I mean to say who has done what changes and how it was done. So this kind of information if you need, and also to track it appropriately, we are going to use the Jenkins pipelines. So the simple way of Jenkins pipeline is, instead of creating Jenkins jobs from user interface, nothing but GUI, you would write a file or script to create a job. Okay, you are going to write a Jenkins file or a Jenkins script, we called it. So we are going to convert that into a script. That script we call it as a scripted Jenkins file or scripted file. Okay, so the scripted file is going to help us to create a Jenkins job. That is what it is going to do. Now, why do we need to use the Jenkins pipeline? As I said, the tracking would be easy, and also one more advantage with the scripted pipeline is you can change your build steps. Build steps, nothing but if you take the any freestyle project, I'm taking this one as a Maven job itself. So in Maven job, if you see the procedure, how we are building, first we are going to clone the repository. Once the clone is successful, then if we want to pass the parameters, we can pass it. Then build happen, then deployment will happen. So the process should happen in the same flow. But in Jenkins pipeline, you can change your process flow. So first maybe you are going to clone it. Okay, first repository, then you are going to build it. Once build is successful, you can deploy it. Once deployment is successful, then again you can clean your repository. Cleaning, nothing but you can add one more goal called just to clean for your Maven. But in this case you cannot able to do that one. Why? Because Maven, it will come as a build steps. Again, if I want to do post build actions, there won't be any option. But in Jenkins scripted pipeline, you can able to use any stage. We will call this as a stages. Okay, this is a source code management stage, nothing but one stage, build stage, deployment stage, testing stage. Like that, we have different stages. You can choose or you can change your steps wherever you want to use. Okay, that is the another advantage. Now, as a definition, if you see, Jenkins pipeline is a suite of plugins that supports implementing and integration continuous delivery pipelines into Jenkins. So it is like a plugins which will help us to add few more features to our Jenkins server. Okay, and the documentation for this one is available over here. Let's click and open this one, or else I have already opened. This is the one. So let me close either one. Okay, so if you scroll down, okay, why pipeline? The pipeline usage is Jenkins is fundamentally an automation engine which supports a number of automation patterns. Pipeline adds powerful set of automation tools onto Jenkins, supporting use cases that span for simple continuous integration to comprehensive CD pipelines. Okay, and it is going to do all this stuff. And this is one of the example. View image. Can I able to save image? Just I'm saving it, and if I open it, yep, you can see here this Jenkins pipeline. So usually developers develop their code and it should go to the production. Okay, in between how you are managing is your skill. Okay, usually DevOps engineer, what does he do? Developer give the code, you should deploy it into the production system which is used by the users. In between, DevOps engineer going to manage it efficiently so that your production doesn't get impact. At the same time, whatever developers give the new code, it should get deployed into the production. Okay, so usually it will go with the workflow like a start. First, he will commit into the source code management system. Once it is what I can say committed into the source code management system, check out nothing but committing it into the source code management. Then we are going to build it, test it, and deploy it. Whenever we deploy, it will get deployed into the production. So all these stages are managed efficiently in the Jenkins pipeline. All these stages are managed efficiently in the Jenkins pipeline. And again, if you see in the each phase, there are different sub stages. Nothing but this is stage called SCM checkout. This is stage called build. This is stage called test. This is stage called deploy. Again, in this, you have the what I can say again sub stages. I can say, right? Now let's go back and just go through with this documentation. This is the official documentation from the Jenkins. What is Jenkins pipeline? Even I have copied my definitions from over here. Okay, and if you scroll down, you have examples. Okay, how the Jenkins pipeline you can define. Okay, before going here, let's go and see our what I can say PPT. And creating a Jenkins file and committing it into the source code control provides a number of immutable benefits. Okay, so what we do usually, we will create a Jenkins file, list of the steps which you need to follow, and will commit into the source code management. So whenever you commit into the source code management, nothing but your Jenkins pipeline also now part of your source code management. You no need to create your Jenkins pipeline uh, through the GUI. Whenever you log into the Jenkins and you manually, yes, create a Jenkins job, but you will just give the input as a your Jenkins pipeline. Whenever you give your Jenkins pipeline, it takes the source code management, it builds it, it tests it, it deploys. All the steps are defined in your Jenkins pipeline. So it is going to take it up. So what is the benefit of committing into the Jenkins pipeline? As I discussed, automatically creates a pipeline build process for all branches and pull requests. So now what does it do? We are going to have a Jenkins pipeline in our GitHub repository. So whenever you are going to clone the code, you are going to get the pipeline as well, and it will have the all the steps how you need to build. Okay, if I don't give the Jenkins pipeline, you have the code but you don't know how you need to build. You need to write the documentation, how you need to use that code. But if you give the Jenkins pipeline, it could be quite easy for them to build it. Next, code review, iteration on the pipeline. Nothing but you can review and who has done what changes on your Jenkins pipeline also. Maybe today you are giving the Maven goals as a clean and install or clean and package. Tomorrow you have changed clean and deploy. Why did you change it to the clean and deploy? And who has changed? What is the purpose? You can understand that. And the audit trail for the pipeline, yes, you can check it out. Who has done those changes, and all the previous versions also will be available. So these are the advantages of using Jenkins pipeline or scripted Jenkins pipeline. Next, pipeline types. There are two kind of pipelines. Okay, one is declarative pipeline. Okay, another one is scripted pipeline. So declarative pipeline, nothing but this is a new feature recently they have introduced. Before that one, we have only scripted pipeline, nothing but you need to write the script. But to write the script, you should have the Groovy and JavaScript knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot able to write it. It is in what I can say. Ruby language. Okay, so if you know the Java and Ruby, then only you can able to write it. That is a little bit of difficult scripted pipeline. It is not more structured way. You should need the scripting language. So to make more advantage of using the pipelines, Jenkins introduced the declarative pipeline. So in the declarative pipeline, there is a certain procedure and it is easy to manage it. You can see here declarative and scripted pipelines are constructed fundamentally differently. Declarative pipeline is more recent feature of the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so the declarative pipeline, if you use, what does it give? Provides richer syntactical syntactical features over scripted pipeline syntax. So syntax is something is a structured, so which will help us to easily write it. And is designed to make writing and reading pipeline code easier. So comparatively that it is quite easy. Okay, so scripted pipelines are sorry, declarative pipelines are easy comparatively scripted pipeline. So we are not developers, so we are going with the declarative pipelines itself, and there is a certain steps it is already have, and you can just follow those steps, and according to your build necessity you can change it. Next, this is the syntax of scripted pipeline and the declarative pipeline. So in the scripted pipeline, it starts with node. It starts with node. Inside that one, you need to write your Groovy script. If you know the Groovy script, then only you can able to write it. But whenever it comes to the declarative pipeline, in declarative pipeline, it starts with the pipeline and it have the agent any. So which will talks about the what I can say, on which agent you need to run, and stages. This is what I'm talking, right? There is a different stages are there. There are different stages. Okay. So in declarative pipeline, we will have the pipeline and what I can say, it will starts with pipeline, and in between of the pipeline you need to define all your conditions. So it will have the agent any, nothing but on which agent do you want to run. If agent any means either it can build in the master or in slaves as well. So nothing but, if you do remember, we have set up master and slave configuration, right? So agent, it is going to define in either master or slave it can build. If you give only specific agent name, if you specify, only this particular job is going to build on that particular agent. Next, stages, as we discussed, there are different stages, and you can specify the stages. And this is what I can say, it can be variable, anything, you can give any name, but in the stage you need to define your steps. What do you want to do within the stages? Okay, so this is how you can write it. So these are the syntaxes for the uh, scripted and declarative, but we are going to deal with the declarative. Now let's see a simple syntax of a declarative pipeline. So this is one of the declarative pipeline. And if you scroll down, you have the scripted pipeline. Okay, in the scripted pipeline, you have the node, build, test, deploy, all these steps. Okay. So in the scripted pipeline, you can see here pipeline. It is declarative, sorry, it is declarative pipeline. Pipeline agent any, stages, and stage build. Okay, in the build stage, what do you want to do? In the test stage, what do you want to do? In the deployment stage, what do you want to do? So these you need to define within the script. Okay, I'm going to take the same script for now, and we'll convert it into the our declarative pipeline script. Our declarative pipeline script. Let's open new file. So pipeline agent any, I can able to build any agent, but if you want to build only what I can say Maven agent, we have already created Maven agent, right? There you can specify it. That sorry, that particular server information you can specify it. And stage build, okay. Under build stage, you need to specify the steps. Okay, let's give the simple step as a echo. I'm giving this is build stage. Okay, so what does it do? Whenever you execute this stage, it is going to execute this command. It is going to execute this command, and whatever you could see over here, same thing is get displayed. So just I'm changing it to our stage. What do you want to do on each stage? In the each stage we have steps. Within the steps you need to give, maybe this is build stage, right? You can give the Maven, okay, rather than this one. Maven you can give, and you can specify the what do you want to do with the Maven. We are going to check it out that. Okay, in the test phase, again you can give the Maven goal as a test. In the deployment phase, you can give the where do you want to deploy, right? So let's copy this one, and we need to create a pipeline script. Okay, so what I can do, I can commit this change, sorry, I can create this as a Jenkins file and commit in our repository, GitHub repository, and from there you can call it, or else you can directly define it in your job itself. First, initially, how we have done in yesterday in DSL job also, first we have used script directly within the job, then we have created a file and we have used it, right? Same thing we are going to do now. So let me log into my Jenkins. I'm going to create a new job, pipeline test job. Okay, pipeline test job. And yeah, by the way, before creating your pipeline scripts, you need to install one more plugin called pipeline plugin. So go to manage Jenkins and search for manage plugins. Sorry, select manage plugins and available. Here you need to search for your pipeline plugin. Pipeline plugin I have already installed, so you cannot able to see that under available tab. You can see that in the installed tab. Okay, so pipe, sorry, pipeline. Okay, so if you see there is no pipeline plugin, and pipeline multi-branch with the defaults. So multiple jobs it is going to run parallelly, and pipeline GitHub notify step. So plugin that provides the GitHub status notification step. Like this, different features it is going to give. And if I go and search over here, pipeline, where we have pipeline, I think. So Docker pipeline is installed. Yeah, you can see here pipeline. This is the pipeline we have installed. So that is the reason we could see the uninstall. And also I have installed pipeline Maven integration plugin. Nothing but to build a Maven job, I have created a pipeline Maven integration plugin. Otherwise, it is going to throw an error while we are building Maven pipeline. Okay, apart from this, you can see here pipeline basics, pipeline build. These all are the dependency plugins. That is the reason you cannot see uninstall option. Okay, so these we have installed. You need to install pipeline and pipeline Maven plugin. These two plugins you should install in your Jenkins server to manage with the plugin. Sorry, pipeline scripts. Now let's go and new job, my pipeline pipe test job. Okay, pipeline test job I'm choosing. This time we don't choose either freestyle or Maven project. We should choose the pipeline because this job type is pipeline. You need to select it and okay. Next, we need to scroll down, and if you are cloning it from the GitHub repository, you need to choose from which GitHub you are going to clone it. Okay, under what I can say uh, here, or else here itself we are going to give it pipeline script and pipeline script from SCM. If you choose pipeline script from SCM, you need to give the GitHub URL. But we are not cloning it from the SCM, so we are just going to write the pipeline script, and this has given the box to write your code. And also they have given some examples. You can see here, hello world. So it is going to tell you that how you need to write a simple hello world pipeline job. You can see here pipeline and agent any steps under, sorry, stages. Under stage we have a stage called hello, and steps you can specify the each step. Okay, what do you want to do? Whatever we have done, similar way we are doing. Under stages we have stage. Okay, so let's apply this one. First we'll build the hello world test. So once I have applied and saved, this job got created. This whenever I execute this particular job, it is going to give the hello world. Okay, it's like if initially we have created the execute shell command, right? Same thing it is going to do. Build now, and you can see the information stage view, nothing but how many stages are there and how much time does it take, and whether it is successful or failure. If it is comes as a green, it is successful. If it is comes as a red, it is failed. So it has been successful, and if I see build output, you can see here it is successful. And just to go through with the what it has done, you can see here stage hello hello. So this is the stage it executed. In this stage it's just displayed hello world because we have given the echo. All right, so this is how it is executed. And go back, we'll modify with our script now. Configure, and what is our script? I think it is here. Let's copy this script. And okay, so pipeline stage any and stages, we are giving the stage build and steps. Okay, under stage build we are giving that, okay, it is a build stage, sorry, it is test stage, and it is deploy stage. Okay, it is deploy stage. Okay, this you can give whatever naming convention you want to give. Okay, it doesn't mean that it should be same. What you are doing you can specify over here. Apply and save. Okay, now let's build it. Build is successful, and let's go and check it out. And before checking out, you can see here build stage. Now it ran with the three stages, that is build, test, and deploy. Each one how much time it took. And if you click on this one also, you can see the logs. Okay, this stage is a build stage. There is no problem with this one, and this one also successful, and this one also successful. Okay, and if you want to see the detailed logs, you can go over here and you can check it out. Okay, so first stage is this is a build stage. Second stage is this is test stage. Third stage is this is deployment stage. And pipeline stages also it is going to display. And overall this job is successful. Okay, so this is how you can define multiple steps in your job. But this is just we are giving echo rather than running actual commands. Okay, if you want to clone what I can say your GitHub repository. You need to specify rather than build, you can give the cloning repository. Okay, and you can or else taking the GitHub SCM, talking with GitHub SCM, and you can give the URL of your GitHub server. It is going to do. Here you can give the testing. Then you can just execute the Maven test case. Then you can execute the Maven build stage. Like that you can do. Okay, now I have created few jobs in our GitHub repository. And you can see here under DevOps Jenkins, we have pipeline templates. We can go with one by one. Okay, first one is first pipeline. Okay, it is similar to what we just built. You can see here, same thing. We are just displaying hello world, and just to understand how the syntax does work. Okay, stages we have, under stages we have stage, under stage we have steps. This is the nested one. Okay, next we are going to see the second build, that is multi pipeline steps. Okay, so here what we will do, usually in previous example we have stages, under stages we have stage, under stage we have steps, right? So this is the way we have executed, and here you can see here we are executing SSH. Within that, again, we are going to do the two executions. First one is we are executing the script. Okay, either directly we can give, or else we can give the SH nothing but script. Okay, execute script, same thing. And the next one is, again, we are going to do the one more script, nothing but two executions we are doing. Okay, that's why we will call it as a multi steps. So two steps we are doing over here, and let's copy this one, and we can update our Jenkins job to take up this particular one. So configure, Control A, Control V, apply and save. Now if I build now, it is going to execute the whatever we have done, and this is the previous one, and this is the latest one. And the latest one we have only build, right? Test and deploy stage is not there, but in previous build it was there, so it is just showing with the previous one. So this is the current job. If I open it now, you can see whatever we have given. First it is going to give the echo my first job, and same thing it is displaying, and the second one is same thing, and also ls minus lah we have done. And wherever our job is running in the current location, it is going to display, and we'll see what is there. So current location nothing but in the workspace there is a pipeline test job has been created, a directory called pipeline test job, and in that directory nothing is there. I have logged into my Jenkins server, so just refresh it and clear the screen. Let me become a root user, and if I go to this particular location, you can see here nothing is there. ls minus lah if I give, okay, so whatever output you could see, same output you are going to see over here. Okay, this is how you can run multiple jobs, multiple steps in a single job. Next, we are going to take another example, but this time we are going to take this example from the Jenkins, GitHub repository itself, rather than we are, what I can say, yep, rather than creating directly over there. Okay, so next job is retry. Retry job nothing but whenever the build is failed. Okay, whenever the build in case failed, not build, I can say your particular step is failed, then it is going to retry your job. It is going to retry your job. It's like something first initially the git clone failed, so it could not able to clone the repository. If it is failed, try it one more time, try it one more time. So like that you can retry your Jenkins, your step by using the retry. So how many numbers you have given, those many times it is going to retry. And if you see the command ssh, I'm not going to work. Okay, I'm not going to work. This is the just I'm giving it as a command, not echo. I'm not giving any echo. I'm just giving this as a command, and there is no command with this one, right? So it is going to fail it. If I give working command in the first try itself, it is going to work and it won't retry it. But this is not going to work because it is not a command. So to try to execute this as a command, it doesn't work. So it is going to retry 3 times. So rather than I'm copying it, I'm going to take this path and we'll give this path in our GitHub repository. Okay, so just let me take this path. So before taking this path, I need to take up this URL as well, right? GitHub URL. So take the GitHub URL and go to Jenkins and configure. And this time, rather than pipeline script, we are going to choose the pipeline script from SCM. Now, which SCM? We have only Git plugin installed, so it recognize only Git and the URL of your Git. And this is the URL. Now it is a public. Yesterday I made it as a public, so no credentials are required. And from master branch you need, and you can see here script path. In which location you have Jenkins file? By default, we name it as a Jenkins file, but for now we are going to take it as a whatever name we have given, because in usually it will have single file in the repository. That is the reason we will specify the Jenkins file. And also if it is in the root directory nothing but over here, if you see the Jenkins file, it is going to just if you give over here itself, sorry, if you go give over here itself like a Jenkins file earlier, like this, if you give, it will take up. But if it is inside to some folders, you need to give the appropriate path. Now I am giving retry and apply, save, and build. Now it is going to fail because it tries 3 times, and each time it is not able to build successfully, because that is not a successful command. You can see here it's failed. And if I go here, you can see here the stage has been first what it do, 3 times it has executed. You can see here it is trying to do, I'm not going to work first time, so command not found. It is thinking as a I as a command, because there is a space remaining, all it takes as a argument, I not found. And retrying, okay, again it tried, retrying, again it tried. So 3 times it retried, still it could not able to execute it successfully. Whenever it failed, it give the non-zero result as a non-zero. Okay, non-zero means it is a fail. So it means that your script is not successful. Okay, so this is how we can use the retry parameter. There are various parameters are there, depends upon what do you need, you need to use that one. But just for easy to understand, that's the reason I have taken retry. Next, again we are going to our Jenkins and pipelines. Okay, now if you see the timeout, okay, timeout nothing but what will happen, it will wait for whatever time you have given. Within the time, if the job is not successful, it is going to give the timeout. Okay, so in this case what we are doing, we are retrying 3 times, nothing but in this particular step. Again, this is multi-step nothing but we are executing multiple commands in this one. First one is sh echo world, it is a fine, so first time itself it is going to successful. Okay, next second command, whenever it is executing timeout, okay, we are saying that timeout should happen within 3 seconds. Timeout should happen within 3 seconds. And yeah, units nothing but seconds. This is how you need to define timeout. Okay, time is 3, units is seconds, nothing but here within 3 minutes, what I can say, it should say that timeout. But it is sleeping for 5 minutes, sorry, 5 seconds. So let me explain one more time. What you are doing is you are saying that within 3 minutes you need to say that timeout. Okay, less than 3 minutes, if it is this job is executed, then it will go to the retry. If within less than 5 minutes, it, sorry, less than 3 seconds, it is not executed, it should what I can say failed. Okay, it should failed, and it could not able to go to the retry. Okay, so let's execute this one and we'll see the output. How does it work? So it is going to, it could not able to retry it because you are giving timeout as a 3 and sleep for 5. And I can give the directly file name, that is 04 timeout. Okay, just you need to change it over here because our job is already there, and build now. This is also going to fail, I think, or unstable. Yes, seems it is unstable. And you can see here what will happen? First one is executed hello world. So timeout nothing but within 3 seconds, if you go and execute your retry job, that's fine. But if it is taking more than 3 seconds, you need to cancel your job. Okay, timeout nothing but don't execute this job if it is taking more than 3 seconds. Okay, that is the instruction we have given, but it is taking 5 seconds to what I can say, complete the task. So then it is saying that canceling the next steps due to the timeout, because you have specified that within 3 seconds if it is completed, then retry it. Otherwise you don't do. Where we can use the timeout, assume that your build is taking around what I can say 2 minutes. Okay, if it is taking more than 2 minutes, you can specify the timeout that, okay, if the build timeout is 2 minutes, then only let it execute. Otherwise, you can just cancel the build. Something like that you can define in your jobs. So now it has been cancelled. That's the reason you can see the different color of this one. It is job is aborted. Okay, this is failed and this is successful. That's how retry will work. Next, we'll go with the environment variables. Okay, this is important parameter, environment variables. So if you see here, if you do remember, we have given the environment variables while executing our job, right, like a parameters. Okay, if you want to give the similar kind of parameters, you can what I can say, use the environment variable, and these are the variables. We are directly using the variables. Name is AR, last name is Shankar, and if you see here in the stage, build stage, we are just calling it as a echo dollar name and dollar last name, because name is this one and the last name is this one. You just need to take this one and update your Jenkins job configuration and apply and save and build. Now this time it should be successful. And where is our syntax? Yes, you can see here in the build stage only we are executing, and build stage, and if you see here, it is successful and the output is echo AR Shankar. Okay, just it replaced with the our variable names. Okay, like that we have few other, maybe what I can say, credentials if you would like to pass. Okay, there is a environment variables and secret, you can test it out. And the next thing is post actions, nothing but initially test you are doing, and after test you have the post nothing but once your stage is completed. Okay, your stage is completed, in the post actions what do you want to do? Post actions nothing but if it is successful, if it is successful, your build is successful, display this one. Your build is failed, display this one. Your build is unstable nothing but aborted, or the Jenkins could not able to understand what is the case, then aborted will come. Okay, execute this one. Always nothing but execute always this one. Okay, this is how you can define. Let's what I can say, execute this one quickly, or else I'm going to take yeah, I will take this one because we need to modify and we'll see the different cases. So just going over here, and I'm going to update the configuration, and this time I'm going to copy the declarative pipeline. So copy it. Now what will happen, if you see the above case, stage step echo fail exit one nothing but it is a in between of execution, sorry, aborted, apply, save and build now, and we'll see it has been failed. And whenever it is failed, we have given the what I can say, uh, failed condition, right? So you can see here, always get executed nothing but where it is, yes, always get executed means if you have given post as a always, whatever you have specified under always, it is going to execute all the time. And it is skipped success and unstable because build is failed, and it's executed only this one. You can see here, I will only execute if this fails. Okay, now what we do, we will make it as a success. Configure and I just remove the exit one. Exit one, what does it do? It is going to abort your change in between. So now what will happen? Echo fail. It is going to just display this one, and displaying this one doesn't is not a fail. If this command is successfully displayed this one, it means success. So now you can see here, build now. And it is successful. And if I open it, you can see here echo fail. Yes, it's just it displayed fail, and I always get executed, and also I will only execute it if this is successful. And if I want to make unstable, like avoided, we can do, right? That particular job, I will take it. So where is this? Timeout one, right? Yes, timeout one. So I'm taking this one and will replace the our Jenkins job. Before doing that one, let me, okay, under stage I'm going to copy. I don't want to stage deploy, right? So stage instead of test, I'm going to give the deploy. This one is closed here, right? Yeah, because we need to make sure that syntax are fine. Apply, and we'll see what will happen. I didn't try. Hopefully I'm saying that unstable should get executed. Okay, it given the failed one. Okay, so there is a syntax error. Configure. So this one is closed over here. This one is closed here. This one is closed. Then I think we need to close the stage as well. Then we need to close one more thing. Stage and stages. So we have closed everything. So this closed over here. This is closed over here. This is closed over here. Yeah. Apply, save, build now. It should go to unstable. And yes, it is unstable. Hello, timeout. This is okay. This is the one, and I will always execute it. And the timeout has been taken. Okay, return. Okay, it is aborted, so it could not able to execute the unstable also, because it should be unstable rather than aborted. So unstable, nothing but few builds are successful and few builds are failed, then it will go to the unstable one. But this is a different situation, aborted, so it could not able to execute the unstable. Okay. So these are the examples. Now let's go and create a pipeline, actual one, that is to set up our, build our Maven job. Build our Maven job. So I have already created one and updated over here. Just run through with this one, how we are going to do the build. Okay. So you can see here, what I can say, pipeline, agent any, stage. Okay, you can give the stage anything, compile stage. We are giving the compile stage, nothing but we are going to compile in this one. Steps with Maven. Okay, with Maven and Maven. So what is the Maven value you have given? If you do remember, we have given the name as a Maven installation as a Maven. Yesterday we have seen, right? Even in our DSL jobs also we need it. Okay, so we are giving it as a Maven and a SSH Maven clean compile. Nothing but we are cleaning it and compiling in this particular step. In this particular step. In next step, we are doing the, what I can say, in next step we are doing the test, because because this is a testing stage. So this is just testing stage, we are testing it out. Next one is deployment stage. Deployment, nothing but this code get deployed into the Artifactory sorry, repository. But in our case, we are not using the repository, so I don't think so deploy does work, because it will try to deploy into the some Maven repository, and it may or may not work. Let's try this one. Okay, but to try this one, what you need to do is you should have code, right? And which code should I need to do? That's the reason you need to copy this one into your what I can say, GitHub repository. This kind of script you cannot give directly in the declarative pipeline. Okay, where I can say here you cannot give. If you give over here, you need to clone your repository. You need to give your GitHub project and project URL you should provide. Okay, instead of that one, you can directly specify over here, take the code and build it. Take the code and build it by using the Jenkins pipeline. So now what we do, we are going to take the another, yeah, this one we can take. Yeah, I have already created a Java file over here. Sorry, Jenkins file over here. Yeah, same thing you can see here. So first we are doing clean compile and clean test and install I'm doing. Okay, install I'm doing. Let's take this repository and we'll execute it and we'll see what will happen. So copy it and URL git, and this is the URL, and it doesn't require any credentials, and it is from master branch. And our root path nothing but over here. Here we have a file called Jenkins file. Yep, same name we have given over here. Apply and save it. Okay, so we have updated our build. Now let's build it and we'll see what will happen. It's failed. Why? Unable to find build pipeline configure. Is there any typo or space?
Shankar, I guess the J of Jenkins file is in small letter in the
Oh,
GitHub.
yes. J, apply and save it. Now let's build it. Okay, it's building. So check out from SCM, nothing but from the whether it is pulling from your GitHub or not, it is successful. Then compilation stage, it is also successful. It took 5 seconds. Now it is testing phase. It is also completed within 6 seconds. Okay, then deployment. Okay, everything is successful. And if I go to the logs, okay, Maven test it is doing. So test stage is completed. Then build stage, and if I go next stage, you can see the logs. Okay, so test is completed and build is completed. Okay, and if I go to the same output over here, okay, it started by so and so and no credentials, and what I can say, it is building with the Maven. So using Maven installation, I'm using Maven as a Maven installation. Quickly I will show you where I have defined my Maven. So manage Jenkins and global tool configuration. Here we have defined Maven installation as a Maven. So whatever name you have given over here, same name you should use in your pipeline. Nothing but over here. So here you need to give the same name. All right. So this is how you can build your Maven jobs by using, sorry. Yes, this is how you can build your Maven jobs by using the scripted pipeline. Okay, now we can add few more steps, nothing but either you want to pass the parameters or something else. All this stuff you can pass to your Jenkins pipeline, and the Jenkins pipeline syntax is available over here. And pipeline syntax, it is declarative pipeline. So how you need to use what and all things you need. Assume that I want to pass the parameters, or okay, so you can just search for the parameters in the declarative pipeline. You can see here parameters, how you can specify string name of the parameter. Okay, so this is how you can specify. Let's add this one also, and it will get add as a parameters. Okay, just we can copy this one, and it should be outside of your build. Okay, now okay, I have executing, sorry, I'm executing as a Jenkins file. I need to update my Jenkins file, but rather than updating, I will just go it and update the configuration for other job. So I will copy other job rather than this one. So let's take something like first job itself. Quickly, we are going to update our stuff. So pipeline script, and we want to define the parameters. So parameters, you need to define all the parameters are environments, everything you need to define over here. So I'm just copying this parameters one, and you can see here string name, deploy env, default value is string, description you can give test parameter. Okay, if you want to use it somewhere, you can use it. What I can say, I can just give the in the test step echo display deploy env. Okay, something like this you can do. Okay, similar way you can add a few other stuffs as well, like environment or credentials. Build now. So build is successful, and you can see here. Okay, why? Okay. Deploy env. You need to keep it in the double quotes. If you are using variable, you need to keep it in the double quotes, not in a single quote. Okay, so otherwise it treat it as a just text. Apply, save, and build now. Yep, build with parameters now, and let it be the string itself, because we are giving the same value and it is going to display the same thing. Earlier we didn't build it, I think. Yeah, we built it. It could not able to recognize it. You can see here display string. Okay, sorry, staging. This is the what we have given, right? Display staging, and what I can say deploying. Everything has displayed as it is. So this is how you can add, and apart from this, anything I can test it out. Let me go. What and all options are there? Okay. So triggers. When do you want to trigger? Like SCM. Okay. You can add it to that SCM, and what I can say stages we have done. Agent post nothing, but after build we have checked stages, steps, and environment variables, options. Okay, if you want to give the options, we can use this one. Triggers will do. So when do you want to execute this job? You can see here stage and triggers. When do you want to trigger? You need to give the cron job. This will be give the what I can say scheduled triggering, and what do you want to trigger? Okay, that information you can give. You can just add this one to our job now. So triggers, I would like to give all stars. Okay, if it is cloning, it will make sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense at all. Why? Because we are not building any code uh, from the SCM, so you could not able to see the any what I can say advantage out of this. But the build will happen. Okay, so like this, you have the sorry you have the all the options over here. I'm going to share this one. You just experiment with the different options, okay, which you want to do. And input output any other we can test. Yeah, when condition. So when condition nothing but you can specify that when you want to build this one. Maybe if build is successful, then only go to the next step. If build is failed, abort from there itself. Okay, that you can give in the when condition. I'm going to show you how can we deploy using the Jenkins pipeline in the later classes. But for now, just get it habituated how the pipelines does work.